from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
The Raiders are a really interesting team. We don't love the ownership, but they have a new front office, a new coach from New England.
If Josh McDaniels don't turn the team around this year, it's to be fired.
Not a lot has gone right for the Raiders under this regime.
They're doing what they do best. They are trying to lose. They should probably find a new hobby because it is going to be a disaster.
That feels good, man, to play the Raider chant after a win. You know what I mean? That feels real good, man. Welcome to Undrafted, man, with me and my co-host Ray. I think Ray, you're on mute right now. If you want to check that up real quick. But we appreciate everybody coming through, man. We are on time. We went live on time, so y'all can't say nothing this time. But yeah, man. Hey, Raiders win a Monday Night Football against the Packers. I told y'all it was a winnable game, and we'll get into that in a little bit, man. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Like where were you watching the game last night? You just chilling?
Yeah, I was just chilling at home. Made some wings.
Okay.
Got on the couch, got comfortable. Finally enjoyed a Monday night of football, you know. And yeah, man. Hey, look, the Raiders went out there and they did their job. They got a big win, and we'll kind of get into all that. But what about that intro, man? We've come a long way from the first episode.
Oh yeah, man. We're doing big things, man. We still got to make some small adjustments, man. We got to make that undrafted a little bit more Raider Nation approved, man. Like that right there is a little too it's just not right.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. It's gonna get there, man. Let's get into the chat real quick. Dodgers, everything was good, y'all, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Especially after a win. Man. I'm just finally get a win. But Pablo Vista says win is win. McDaniel's still a chump. You know what? I'm gonna have to give you an applause for that right there, man. I'm gonna have to give you applause for that.
That's a fantastic comment, Pablo.
Standing ovation for that one right there, man. Pablo, I agree with you 100%, man. McDaniels, if we would have lost that game, McDaniels, I think, man, Raider Nation would have been at his doorstep for sure.
I think Mark Davis is feeling it a little bit too.
Yeah.
My, how much a week can kind of change the attitude.
Yeah, no doubt. Because you see him like kind of like losing his composure, and that was just him. No fans, no one screaming in his face. He was mad. I think it was when we didn't get the fourth. Was it we didn't get the fourth down, or we didn't score after getting a turnover?
Yeah,
I think that's what it was, or I think it was something like that. But it is what Yaya Hatamaki says. Wow, that intro. Hey man, we doing big things over here, man. Digital Prez in the building, man. A man of many talents. This guy is everywhere, man. We gotta hit me up, bro. It's been a minute, but yeah, Digital Prez, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Check him out on RaiderResistance.com and Raider Resistance on his IG, man. It's probably one of the best Raider IGs you'll see out there. Dodgers Everything says DA said it yesterday. It wasn't a pretty win, but it was a win that we needed to build some momentum for next game. Yes, not a doubt, without a doubt. That was an ugly win. If you want to put everything in perspective, I mean, like literally all of our wins were pretty ugly. That Denver game was pretty ugly. I think would you say this game was even uglier than Denver?
No. Just because the defensive performance, I think. But offensively, man, look, the fact of the matter is we suck. Like offensively, we still have yet to touch 20 points in a game that we had every opportunity to go over 20 this game. And it's just like a hump that we just can't seem to get over. And look, we've got to figure it out quick because you're not going to continue to hold teams to 10 or 13 points. You just can't expect that week after week. So this offense has to find an identity, man, and it's got to happen quick.
Yep. Luis Lopez says, love the name. Dope. We got a W. Facts. 100%, man. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. We got Great Southern Trend Kill says our defense saves this team's at. Hey, man, I feel you, man. Like without a doubt, it's been like that also. If you really want to be honest, like the defense kind of has been the best part of this team, so far this season. And they're not perfect. Don't get it twisted. They're not perfect.
Whatever they've got up in that booth for Patrick Graham, keep it. Stay up there.
And someone left a comment on one of my videos, and they said it'd be interesting if the Raiders obviously don't win enough games, but the defense plays well. Who is the scapegoat? Because we kind of seen it before the season started. We're like, McDaniels comes back, and Patrick Graham would be the easy target to get rid of and be like, okay, the defense is not playing good enough.
I think Patrick Graham's made a case. I mean, I feel like for the last few weeks, all eyes have been on Josh McDaniels. So very few people have really been calling out Patrick Graham for his job. So
yeah,
what I mean? I think
Patrick Graham doesn't come back, it's because McDaniels doesn't come back, and his coaching staff is gone pretty much. Super Omnicron says if they make a move, it'll be for Leonard Williams, but I don't know if they know how it will go down after bad contracts. Yeah, that's something that we'll talk about too as well. Like I heard that rumor. I don't know if you heard that rumor, Ray.
I haven't.
That Ziegler is out there in the trade market looking for a pass rusher.
I heard that part. I didn't know that Leonard's name specifically would get popped.
No, I didn't know specifically, but they're looking for pass rushers. Whoever's available. I'm not sure if Leonard Williams, he did sign like a big contract not too long ago, so I'm not sure if they're interested in that. But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Oh man, we got a famous. Is this Jackie Chan? Oh man, we got.
That's Jackie Chun. That's not Chan.
I can't even pull up his comment. It's like not working. There you go. Oh, okay, Jackie Chun 420 man. Hey man, I thought it was Jackie Chan for a second. No, I'm just playing. The offense is supposed to be the best part of this team. Exactly my point. It was like a bittersweet win. Like I was happy that the Raiders won, but I'm just disgusted that this offense has been the biggest disappointment. Just overall, like the passing offense, the rushing offense. I mean, you name it. But let's get into it, man. Let's actually get into the game since we kind of went through our intros and saluting the chat. Appreciate everybody coming through, and also. Make sure to hit that like button. Oh man, my thing's not working right now.
There it is.
But what were you about to say?
No, I just, I feel like this team is going to win enough games to keep us out of a sweet spot in the draft. That's what I feel in my gut. Like, You know what I mean? Because right now we went from last week before the game, we were sitting at the 3rd pick in the draft. And then after the Sunday games, we sat at the 8th pick. And now that we won, I guarantee you it's kicked us out of the top 10. I haven't checked up the up-to-date one, but
I mean, it's still early, bro. Like we only 2 games. We're 2-3. We have, well, that being said, we do have like a
That's
nice
what I'm
little
saying.
soft spot in the schedule right now.
Yeah.
Because next week we play the Patriots. And then after that, I think, who do we play after that? Do we play Detroit's probably the hardest team in the next few games that we play.
We play like Chicago, New York.
Yeah,
Like
New
teams
York.
like that. Those teams are all struggling. So,
but the thing is, though, like, it's not a guarantee for us to even beat them. We are offense playing. Like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, let's get back to the Raiders-Packers review, man. Let's get back into it. Watching the game, what were your final thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts after the Raiders won 17-13 against the Packers?
Well, look, I think if everybody tuned into our preview show, I think a ton of the stuff that we talked about that we've seen on film, it came to pass, man. I think it was one of the more accurate games to date that we were able to call. So I've just got some reviews here, keys that came true. We talked about keys of the game. Take advantage of a good defensive play, or take advantage of good defensive play, like as a whole. I believe the defensive unit, they went out there and played, man. They showed up. They're flying around to the ball, being disruptive in the run game, getting after the quarterback, creating plays on the back end, taking advantage of pressures, making bad plays and turning them into momentum shifting plays. I thought the first Spillane pick, it was a big momentum swing for us. The Marcus Peters tip pass, second Robert Spillane interception, big momentum. And then obviously a Meek sealing the game at the very end, putting the nail in the coffin. That was great to see. We talked about specifically Robert Spillane and Divine Diablo, the linebackers creating a sense of depth in coverage. You've seen that on the first interception. He was able to drop back, read the quarterback's eyes, make a play on the ball, executed that perfectly. The second interception, again, created enough depth that on the dagger concept, Marcus Peters was able to get a hand, tip the ball in the air. Spillane was in the right spot at the right time because of the depth that he created in coverage. Thought that was good. And also we talked about stunt games. You know, we talked about getting Crosby involved, moving him around the line of scrimmage. And look, Max Crosby was an absolute menace this game. So overall, man, I just think our keys to the game, a lot of the Raiders checked a lot of those boxes, and for our favor, we came out with the win.
Yeah, no doubt. I think at the end of the day, like we went to this game, we said that, like, hey, Packers really are not that good of a team. They're like an average team. But the rate with how the Raiders were playing, we couldn't really call, like, okay, what type of game this would be. But for them to win, they had an opportunity to get to the quarterback. They did a good job of moving Max Crosby around. He was creating havoc. Kuntz, even though he didn't get a sack, he was still active. Man, good. I'm glad. Hopefully, yeah, I'm glad he's okay, because I think he finished out the game, because he went down for a little bit on his knee injury, and I thought he was out for the season. But good thing he's good. It looks like he's going to be all right. Wilson didn't get his sack. I tried to predict a sack for him. I thought this was a game that he get, but I seen him like pressure a couple times. I seen him, like, getting there a couple times. But
I thought this was the game that they were going to actually line him up on the inside. Like, I wanted to see some stunts with him and Max on the same side, and run a stunt game and get Tyree on the inside on the right guard against Runyon. Unfortunately, didn't get to see that. Hopefully, McDaniels and this coaching staff, they're a little slow to catching on to things. Yeah. But hopefully they'll catch up to that eventually here.
Yeah, defense played well. They made plays. They finally forced some turnovers. I think last week was like the first week they forced a turnover. Was it last week? I think it was last week they forced their first turnover of the season. Now they forced 3 turnovers this game. We wanted a clean game from them. We didn't really get that. Obviously, Jimmy G, man. Look, I don't want to be that guy that I told you so when it came to Jimmy G. But man, like, do y'all not see what I'm seeing right now? Like, this dude, I don't think he's a starter in this league, to be honest with you.
I think he's a starter. I just don't think he's good.
Nah, bro. If he's a starter,
you think there's 31 other quarterbacks better?
Minshew. Give me Minshew. Give me Minshew. I'd rather have him. I'd rather have Fitzpatrick. Let's get him out of retirement. You know what I mean? Like,
Lord.
I'm just saying, because Jimmy G, bro, like, he's out there like Mr. Mr. Panic out there, like in the pocket. Like,
yeah, it's bad. Hey, to be honest, look, this offensive line is not good. I'll be honest. Like, this game was evident. You know what I mean? They're not going up against some crazy superstar. I thought Jermaine Illuminor, I think he's dealing with something injury related, and he went out of the game, and Thayer Mumford came in, and I thought that was actually an upgrade. But man, like guys like, and we'll get into stock up, stock down, so I don't want to get too into it. But guys up front, man, they just don't have an identity. I think honestly, the Raiders are gonna have to take this offseason. They're probably gonna have to replace Andre James, just being honest. And they're gonna have to look at a few players along the offensive line to replace.
But what's funny though? I don't blame them though. They knew what they had when going into this whole offseason.
Yeah.
And you guys decided to do a power scheme, but then what? Andre James doesn't fit that. Parham doesn't fit that. Cole Miller doesn't fit that power scheme. Come on, like they're trying to force players into their system, and I just don't believe in doing stuff like, it is what it is.
What's weird though is it worked last season, but they're not like catching on that. Hey, look, teams have you figured out. Like It's time to switch this thing up. And a positive, I thought Michael Mayer finally got involved. What would you know? We've been talking about it for weeks, and it was just like if you would just scheme and dial him up, the guy is a threat in the receiving game. So
who would have thought though that it's an issue to get the ball to the tight ends? You know what I mean? Whether John Gruden is probably like throwing up right now because John Gruden has no problem throwing the tight ends.
No,
just think about the Darren Wallers and the Jared Cooks, whoever was back there. He even Moreau, he was able to get the ball out to him. Even a guy like a Mayer, if he had his hands on him, he would for sure get the ball to him. And even McDaniels, you would think that he would be able to get the ball to a tight end coaching Gronkowski and all these tight ends.
And then the miss that Jimmy Garoppolo had to Mayer.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh, bro! Hey, the kid
trash. I'm telling you, trash. Yeah, trash.
He's trash, but I'm telling you, Michael Mayer, if he had the right system, like, I just wish that there was a coach, a young like Ben Johnson. Give me Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions.
Hey,
you would have this schemed up, man.
Hey, we don't gotta be we don't have to be nice about it. Like I think McDaniels, it's kind of obvious. McDaniels' days are numbered.
I hope, man. I don't want to go into the draft.
His days are numbered, bro. Like he's playing to lose or not to lose. If you want to go back into the game, like it was 4th and 1, they're up 17-13. Kicking a field goal will just make it a 1-possession game. And going for it, even if they didn't get it, they're still up 1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't understand like why he didn't want to be aggressive, especially with the defense playing as well as they have the whole game. And he's giving an explanation about how the defense has played well in the past and yada yada yada. I don't know. I think he's struggling, and you could point at different parts of the game where he's, he could have called a timeout here and saved some time. It's just I don't know what. Maybe is it too much responsibility? Is that what it is?
If he really wants to embellish this role, he should heavily consider maybe taking less responsibilities. Like, let Mick Lombardi potentially have, like, let him at least call a game. Like, let's see if we can get over 20 points. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just, if he wants a job, I mean, I know that his ego is going to get in the way. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I know Josh McDaniels. Like, there's a ton of beat writers. They say that Josh is a good man, a good husband, a good father. So I'm not questioning that side of it. I'm specifically just targeting, like, him as a coach, man, his decisions, his play calling lately.
Yeah.
And look, you don't have an excuse. Jimmy's your guy. You brought him in. This is who you moved on from DC, and you got Jimmy in here. You don't really have an excuse, man. And this line up front isn't helping anything. Jimmy Garoppolo's play style isn't helping anything.
Yeah.
But to go back to Michael Mayer, man, I just thought the very first play of the game, and you hit him with the play action like that, like, where's that been? That was clearly schemed. That was a scripted play for the first drive of the game. Where's that been at for him all year? Got Trey Tucker involved in an end around. Get him involved a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's just he's just slowly dripping out this offense. And look, I know you try to time everything out, right? That way you're clicking on all cylinders come November, December, but something's got to give, man. This offense has to start scoring more points.
Right. Great Southern Trendkill says, An offense worth over 120 million can't score more than 20 points. They haven't scored more than 20 points this entire season.
That's so bad.
That's crazy. And the thing is, McDaniels is supposed to be this offensive genius. He's supposed to be this guy that, you know, he's coached so many top 10 offenses, so many top 5 offenses. You know, he's coached Tom Brady. He's coached all these other quarterbacks, and he's not getting it done right now. And if you think about it, Patrick Graham might be doing a better job from a coaching standpoint than he is coaching the team right now. Because
you think he would be the interim coach?
Let's see. Is there anybody on the coaching staff that has experience as a head coach?
Rob Ryan.
I know Patrick Graham did get interviewed for head coaching.
Yeah.
So I know he got interviewed. So it's a possibility, but I think you got to look at it from his perspective. He doesn't really have a lot of talent to work with.
No.
He has Max
Crosby. Quite impressive. You know, I do think that they are better than last year, though. I really do. I think some people developed. I do like some of the young guys. Like, I think when Ja'Cory Bennett's playing, I think he's a good player. I think Amik has developed into this system. The linebacker situation, it is what it is. I think Marcus Peters brings you a veteran presence that you needed. I think Trayvon Merrick has taken a step in this defense. I know he gets a lot of hate, but over like the last 3 weeks, I think Trayvon Merrick's played pretty well. So I don't know, man. I think they've slowly started to become better. But I still want to see that defense get a ton more talent added to it.
Sam Tanka says, "What's up, Raider Ray and Pharaoh? Our offense has firepower, but the QB can't get the ball to them. Could his feet still not be 100% healed?" See, the thing is that like Jimmy G has always been, to me, in my opinion, like an okay quarterback. You know, and now he's an okay quarterback, and it looks like he might be struggling with the offense. Because he just throws it to one player.
Yeah,
it looked like there was maybe he got a little better. Because I think in the beginning of the game you mentioned, okay, he threw it to Michael Mayer here, he threw it to Devontae here, then he threw it to Myers, and then as the game went along, he just kept throwing it to the same player, Jacoby Myers, and which is not a problem. Like, hey, I like that we can throw it to Jacoby Myers, but at the end of the day, you're making this one dimensional when we have talent. Like, it's not like we're forced to throw it to Jacoby Myers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating to watch, man, because we're week 5 now?
Yeah.
It's like unless there's this huge drastic change come November and December, but I mean, we're in the month of October, man. It's time to at least start to get the ball rolling a little bit. So I thought Jimmy early on looked pretty good, but it was just like over time, he reverted right back to what he was doing, you know, right. Locking down one receiver. Boom, turnover. When we threw the turnover, I was like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like one of those momentum shift type of moments. And thankfully, the Raiders defense was able to pull that out.
Nick 209 says Jimmy still doesn't look like he trusts the line.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
But even when they were playing well, to be fair, when they were actually protecting him, Jimmy still didn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, so there's more to it than just the O-line. It's just not like an O-line thing. Obviously, they're contributing to the offensive struggles when it comes to run the game. And now they start off pass protecting well. And I don't know, ever since the Pittsburgh Steelers game, it's been downhill ever since then. Lurker 2 rates his defense been balling out an overpaid offense. And that's the thing is, like, we know the defense is not the most talented group. It's a lot of prove it guys, the guys that gotta prove it. You know, we mentioned Max Crosby being the best player on defense, but then, you know, like you just mentioned, you said some players have been kind of playing well, playing better, which is fine. But the expectation is on the offense. We expected the offense to be a lot better, and the defense is just outplaying them. Let's be honest. They're outplaying.
They're not even like near middle of the pack. It'd be one thing if this offense, you know, was just like middle of the pack, but there are 32 quarterbacks better than Jimmy.
Hey, there are 32 QBs, man. He is trash, man. He's trash. I don't want to hear nothing about he won like this many games and he's a winner. No, he's trash, bro. Like, do you not see the San Francisco 49ers? They are a Super Bowl contender. They have no weaknesses everywhere. They got a 7th-round rookie looking like Joe Montana out there.
Mm.
And Jimmy G was out there looking like, an okay game manager with them.
Hey, and the two games that think about it, the 2 games he's won here, the defensive performances.
Yeah.
History repeating itself. You know what I mean? Like, San Francisco days here.
Would you rather have Baker Mayfield?
Oh, stop. No, I don't. I don't.
Hey, Baker Mayfield's playing better than.
I know he is, but I just don't want to say it. It don't feel right.
That's how bad Jimmy is. We're comparing him like Baker Mayfield.
Bro.
It is what it is. But
it is what it is.
Let's get into it's that time, man. It is that time, man. It's that time, man. Stop. We've been doing this all season. It's pretty much us, saluting the players that's playing well, but also keeping it real when the players are not playing that well. So and it doesn't have to be players. It could be coaching staff, whoever we feel like is not getting the job done. Let me put the banner. I'm struggling over here, but let's get it started. Who do you have as? Let's start with stock up.
Stock up. Let me go a little bit of an unconventional route so you can fill in right after me. I'm going to go Thayer Mumford. I thought he came in and gave a little bit of identity in the run game. I thought he was able to move some guys, create a little bit more run lane than what Jermaine Illuminor was. And I thought, honestly, to be honest with you, I got to go back and rewatch the game as a whole in all 22. But I thought Thayer Mumford actually played pretty well. I know he gave up a sack to Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary's a really good player. I don't expect Thayer to go out there in a pinch and just be perfect. But I thought overall, I thought Thayer was a relatively bright spot for the right side of the offensive line.
McDaniels did say that Illuminor left because he was injured. It was injury related, so it wasn't nothing to do with him getting benched. But it could be a possibility. They might be covering for him. They're trying to.
If he helps in the run game, which is obviously a focal point for them, maybe Thayer gets the nod moving forward until he has a few bad performances. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, no doubt. But we gotta, man, stock up. I thought you were gonna go with come on, man, the guy the game.
I was gonna go with the obvious, but I said I went unconventional route.
But you know what? I'll just do it. I'll do it for you, man. I'll go with Amik Robinson, man, player of the game. The guy was everywhere, whether it was a run game. He did have that huge coverage bust. It was between him and Marcus Epps, but I think it might have been Amik Robinson, like kind of jumping. He thought he was jumping the route when Love was getting outside the pocket, and obviously Christian Watson got a huge play. But thank God for Marcus Peters. Salute to him. Yeah, he played well. He's a savvy vet right there. He did get a penalty, horse collar, but he stopped it from being 7 points. That's how you play with your head, man. That's playing smart.
And shout out to the defense, because in times past, that horse collar would have been a next play touchdown. You know what I mean? They bend, but they didn't break. They held him to 3, got off the field. That was awesome. That was great.
And Amik is always he's like, look, in my intro, he had one of the biggest plays last season when he had that fumble return all the way for a touchdown. And when looking at that interception at the end of the game, man, that's pretty impressive, bro. Like, he's 5'8", 5'7", 5'8", you know what I mean, on a good day.
He got up there.
And the guy that he's guarding is 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
We all know him, Christian Watson, when he was coming out, he ran almost like a 4.2, low 4.3s. Some people clocked him at 4.2, 6'4", 6'5". And he had him beat. He had him beat for a second, and he recovered, and he made the play of the game, man. He got up there, hang time and everything, man. Got that interception, man. So salute to Amik Robinson. He's definitely in the stock up for us this week.
I'm going to transition to the linebacker. This is an obvious one, Robert Spillane.
Yep.
I thought the last 2 weeks he's played well. Last week there were some missed tackling issues that I wasn't really pleased with, so I was happy to see him recover like this. And we talked about him creating depth and pass coverage. I thought Patrick Graham dialed that up really well. It's a copycat league. Detroit was showing it. So the Raiders needed to come into this week and give them looks that they struggled with against the Lions. And they did just that, man. They played this game plan perfectly. Robert Spillane was in the right place at the right time, reading the eyes of the quarterback, staying disciplined in coverage, and then obviously being in the right place at the right time. So hopefully this defense can take this type of game and this type of performance and build on the momentum. It seems like they've built off of the Chargers game. They went into this game with an even better performance. Now let's go into New England, a team that's not very good at all, a team that's struggling with turning the football over right now with Mac Jones. Let's go out there and make this a trend where this defense is starting to create turnovers and give this offense an opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And then we got the obvious. We got to state the obvious. Max Crosby, man, was a monster. He was the heart, soul. He was the Shaq to the Laker teams, the great Laker teams. He was that Shaq on our team, and he was the focal point on that defense. He made everything work. The way they were able to move around on that defensive line, he was getting pressure. The numbers didn't even do him justice. He finished with a sack, 4 tackles for loss. He's on pace to get 17 sacks this season. The dude's a monster. He's everywhere. But it's just the fact that he has that motor. He's always moving. He's always in the quarterback's face. He's a monster in the run game. And he's making other players better. Malcolm Kuntz is playing well, but let's give some props to Max Crosby because Kuntz is playing. He's going one-on-one every play.
There's one thing that I want to see out of Max for his development. And I know that it might sound crazy. You guys might be like, Ray, what are you about to say? But I just want to see him now. Like he's turned every corner. I want to see him be able to create turnovers now.
Yeah.
Strip sacks, knocking the ball out. You know what I mean? Those things that will propel you into defensive player of the year category. Let's go out there and create turnovers now. He's got all the talent. He's getting the sack numbers. So let's turn the corner a little bit and get the ball out a little bit more. So I love what Max is doing. But I'm going to pivot over back to the offensive side of the football, and I'm going to say Michael Mayer. I think you draft this guy in the second round for his talent to be able to get vertical down the field and to create separation with the size of his body. He's not the fastest. He's not the most technical route runner, but he knows how to get open. And that's translated over into the NFL, especially if you watch the film, even when he's not getting the passes, this football could be directed to him numerous amounts of times. It just happened to find him this week. And I think it's something moving forward. You've got to get him involved. I think it opens up things for everybody else. It gets teams more honest on the play action, which can help Josh Jacobs get involved in the run game. So, man, I big shout out to the rookie, Michael Mayer. I think he's going to be a big, bright spot for the Raiders' future. And I think his future might be even brightest if we move on from this coaching staff.
Yeah, I like Michael Mayer, but it's hard, man, because he's not getting the opportunities that he should. You would think that a quarterback's best friend would be obviously run game, but which we're not getting that much, but would be a tight end. You know what I mean? Like Garoppolo going in, like his if you look at his scouting report, he likes to throw inside the numbers. He likes to throw the middle of the field. He likes to throw the tight ends, but he hasn't really done that. And the guy that he's been most comfortable throwing it to has been Jacoby Myers, and it's obvious that he's constantly just eyeing him down. So I don't know if that's going to get better. I'm not sure if it's going to get better as the season goes along, but he's, to me, in my opinion, like they're going to have to do something at that quarterback position, man. Like, and I did not like, we didn't talk about this. I did not like, and I don't care what Vic Tafur had to say. He said that, McDaniels is comfortable putting Hoyer as a backup when they don't get a lot of reps during the week.
I told you, bro. We talked about that. We talked about off camera, hey, I wonder if Aiden O'Connell's going to be inactive this game. Like, did he earn second team reps?
Yeah.
And it's evident, like, the fact that he's inactive is just, it makes me just like this coaching staff. I'm going to say Josh specifically, man. It's just incompetence. Like,
or it's like he doesn't want the quarterback controversy. That's what he does. He doesn't want that quarterback controversy.
But the kid, let's be honest, the kid earned it. Like, and if something happens to Jimmy, don't act like we're going to go back to Brian Hoyer. You already went the Aiden O'Connell route. So why did you? It almost feels like a demotion to him, right? Like, I've been on scout teams. I'm getting scout team reps. You call my number. I go out there on a week's preparation. First time getting reps with the starters. I kept you in the game till the very last play of the game. And then you send me back to scout team and Brian Hoyer's the backup. And then I'm inactive for the following game. It's almost laughable, man. It really is.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. But we'll see as the season goes along, man. And the messed up part about it is the only way, Aiden O'Connell's probably going to come on the field is maybe due to injury, or if for whatever reason the season goes left, which can easily happen. And they're like, you know what? Let's see what we have in Aiden O'Connell. But at that point, I'd rather us be still competitive and still in it, and have a guy like Aiden O'Connell out there like develop and get better and play well. because he has veterans everywhere. He has some talented. There's some talented pieces on this offense. That's the most frustrating part about this offense. It's not that we don't have any talent. It's the fact that we do have talent, and for some reason, they're averaging 15.8 points per game. 15 points a game.
You might as well start
in today's NFL, like where the rules are geared for teams to score and pass, and we can't do none of that. We can't pass, we can't run, which was a strength, you know.
The one thing that I thought was a positive of Jimmy is at times on the scripted drive, so really the first drive of the game, I should say, he gets the ball out quick. You know what I mean? But as the game wears on, he's so indecisive. He has happy feet. He holds on to the football, and it's just I'm ready to see.
Well, to be fair though, that's the offense. The offense is hold on to the football, let routes develop, and
But when you don't have the pass protection,
or you have the type of quarterback that's comfortable to hang in there and get hit to make a throw,
and I don't think he has the zip on the ball to push it 40 yards down the field on a line, splitting two DBs.
He had no business throwing that ball. That interception was like, what were you thinking? Like, you're not Patrick Mahomes.
No. He had Devontae on that one too. But like I said, man, I don't think he can push the ball 40 yards on a line, just high velocity, split in coverage, and just drop one in the bucket. I haven't seen it yet. I seen like a statistic pop up throughout the game. It was like the Raiders have one play of 30 plus yards.
Did Devontae get his second target a game, like in the second half? Was it in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was either in the third or the fourth.
There's no reason why Devontae Adams should have 4 targets. Like he's
definitely hurt. He's definitely hurt though.
Oh, well, yeah, but he's out there though. He's out
there. But I think there's a little bit of game planning going on there. Like,
you think that they weren't giving him the ball because they were trying to keep him
first half. I think probably the game plan was second half to get him heavily involved.
Yeah.
But I could just tell by the way he would go down, like he wasn't fighting through any type of contact. He would just catch the ball, kind of lay down. He was nursing that shoulder for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and just a reminder, call-in number is 628-333-9343. You see the number, call us. Hey, the Raiders just won. Let us know your thoughts, man. Are you happy about the win? What are you looking forward to as the season goes along? We're going to be playing the Patriots. What are the things that you seen last night in last night's game, things that you wanted to improve, things that you felt like a good sign, positive sign in the right direction? Let us know, man. Call in 628-333-9343 is the number. And also hit that like button. We appreciate your support, and the best way to support us is by hitting that like button, subscribing, and also hitting that notification bell, so then you'll be notified every time we go live and all the good stuff that we drop on our channels. But yeah, man, let's get into the chat real quick. I want to hear, man, the chat's going crazy right now. Sam says Mayer's starting to look better at blocking. Just wish he could get more passes because he's a grinder. Yeah, man. We like Ray right now pointed out, man. He was one of the guys on his stock up. He liked what he's seen. He felt like he should get involved. Lurker Charade says Mick Lombardi did all the play calling in the preseason too. That'd be if Josh McDaniels didn't have a huge ego, like if he just could look at himself in the mirror and be like, you know what, I need to focus on coaching this football team and maybe give some of these responsibilities, delegate these responsibilities, because you have assistants. And Mick Lombardi is one of your assistants. He's your offensive coordinator. Maybe giving him the play calling duties while you manage the game and coach this football team. That might be the right move. But at this point, I'm not sure if I'm not a big believer in McDaniels, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like Mick Lombardi goes in there, yeah, okay, but I'm still not a big believer in McDaniels. He just doesn't. Did you see his post game speech in the locker room?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a weasel, bro. He's a weasel, bro. It is what it is. I don't. That's not somebody I'm like trying to go through a wall for. You know what I mean? That post game speech was bad.
Oh yeah, man. He's like, I can't even. I didn't want to do it, man. Coons and Wilson look better, fam. Hope the trend continues. Yeah, man. especially when they're playing around a all-pro pass rusher like Max Crosby that makes things easier for them. But I'm glad they're getting better and better and better, and hopefully it continues against the Patriots next week. Edgar says at least Carr was able to put up more than 20 points.
Oh, here we go.
Man.
Edgar, you're getting in
Hey, man,
some murky water here.
I hear you. Now, hey, I've always thought Carr was a better quarterback than Jimmy G. I'll tell you that. But that being said, Carr has had his weaknesses as well, and I felt like it was probably time for him to go in a different direction because it is what it is, man. But I just feel like it's like he went like we cut ties with Carr, but we need to cut ties with the coach too. We need to do both. Man, I wish it was a package deal. Cody Whitcraft says seemed like McDaniels downplayed the defense for him because of a lack of offense. Hey, all I said, defense is making the offense look bad. AKA not offense, but the McDaniels. They're making them look bad. Evening, guys. We averaged 16 points a game. Yesterday, 2 turnovers, and we still 3 turnovers. We still scored only 17 points. McD is a total failure. I agree, man. Well, that's you know what? I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that one right there. Great.
Hey, if we go in and play the Chiefs like this, like we're gonna get smoked.
Man, Adams was frustrated. Yeah, you could tell. He was happy that they got the W, but like, come on.
He knows.
Come on, man. He's playing against his old team, and you give him 4 targets?
I think it's bigger than that. I think he knows, like, hey, this offense, because he said it in the post-game presser. He was just like, yeah, we got the win, but you just heard it in his voice. He's just like, but we're not where we need to be. Like, he knew, like, yeah, we're not there yet.
Right. Well, let's get back into stock up, stock down. We talked about some of the players on stock up. Did you have any other players left on stock up? There's some other players that played well.
I'll give 2 quick notable mentions and dabble in it just real quickly. Trayvon Merrick, I thought he's had a 3 weeks. I think he's doing better, and obviously Jacoby Myers, huge get for the Raiders. I think Jacoby is, man. There's times where he'll catch like a dagger, and I won't get to see the number. And there's times I'm like, oh, was that Devontae? And then he stands up and it's Jacoby. I'm like, okay. Like yeah. Jacoby's just nice, man. He's having a good year. I think he's just entering the prime of his career, man. And this is what happens when you get lined up opposite of Devontae Adams. Good things start to happen for you. So I'm glad to see him actually take advantage of it, though.
Yeah, no, Jacoby is a good player. Morrig is holding it down right there, man. He's definitely one of the bright spots on defense, and one of the players that you could say has gotten better, especially in this defense, because he struggled a little bit last year, going from a Gus Bradley defense and going to a different defense. A little bit of struggle there, but this year you can definitely see he's noticeably.
And I think he's starting to come into his own character too a little bit.
Yeah,
like I can tell just by the way he's carrying himself, by the way he's talking. Like I feel like he's just finally getting comfortable in the league and finding his footing a little bit.
Yeah. Let's get into stock down. We kind of said a couple of the people. Like for me, we got to put McDaniels in there. He's stock down. Second week in a man, probably the whole season. But Jimmy G is one of those guys. Obvious, like. They're just not getting it done. Like Jimmy G right now, he's leading the league in interceptions right now with I think 7.
Yeah.
And it's just that's not going to get it done.
He's on pace for 28 interceptions this year.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. They're not going to let him get to 20 interceptions. If they put him out there
they'll let him to get to 20, and then they'll be like, all right, Aiden O'Connell, where you at? And that'll be like week 17, 16.
Come on, man. But and obviously McDaniels, man, there are a lot of questionable coaching calls during the game where he could have called a timeout here. He could have called a different play out here, or he could have went for it on 4th and 1 when they were up 17-13. That's like what happened to McDaniels being the aggressive guy. Like you could tell, like I don't know if his confidence is shaking. He's questioning himself. He's playing not to lose. When people play not to lose, you're going to lose. Most times than not. Defense bailed us out. Defense bailed Josh McDaniels out this game. But we kind of seen it. Like even though the Raiders won, Raider Nation, we're not dumb. We noticed that like this guy McDaniels is still not getting it done out there, and we could have easily lost this game based off the decisions that he made if we played a better team. That's the thing too. Is like the next few games, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we play the Patriots. We play the Giants. We play. I think, like you said, I think the hardest team that we played is the Detroit Lions. But then there was another team that's another winnable game.
I think everybody else is losing records except for the Lions for the next like 5 games.
Yeah, that's gonna be like our toughest game in the next 4 or 5 games. So,
but then after that, we've got like a 5-game stretch, which is just like we got a few killers in there. So yeah, we gotta take advantage of this schedule.
But yeah, once we get the obvious out of there, we got McDaniels, Jimmy G. Obviously, their stock is down. Who's someone that you feel like their stock is down?
I'm gonna go Andre James.
James.
I think that this is a position that they're going to address in the offseason, whether it's this coaching staff or the next.
Mm-hmm.
He struggles with power. And this kind of goes with Dylan Parham too. Look, I like Dylan Parham. I like a few things that he's able to do. I love his versatility. He's a good football player. They struggle with power. I mean, they really struggle with real physical fronts. And you could honestly say that's almost all across the board. It's just the size. I mean, Dylan Parham was a former tight end who's bulked up to play offensive lineman, and you know, he was taken later in the draft, and he's still developing, coming into his own. I mean, this is year 2. Andre James, I feel like at this point in this offense, he should be a little bit further along, but I'll say as a whole, the offensive line has regressed. Andre James in the run game is just him being able to pass defenders off and have communication, or whether it's him not getting a punch off the line of scrimmage. Nobody's resetting the line of scrimmage this year. Like, we're not moving bodies off of the ball. We're not getting, 2 yards into the lap of people and Josh Jacobs, breaking off 8, 9, 12, 20. That's not consistently happening. Matter of fact, we're getting pushed back. The line of scrimmage is getting reset backwards. And that's not something that is winning football. So, to me, I'm going to start with the center position. I think Andre James, there has to be either changes schematically or as a whole at the end of the year, man. You're going to have to probably look at a different direction and get some more size up front.
Hey, this is random. I seen this the other day, and I forgot where I seen it, but they were talking about, I was looking into the Patriots, and they're struggling. Some people were questioning, like, is Bill Belichick tanking? The Patriots tanking right now. But even if they tank or whatever, does Bill Belichick continue to be the coach for the Patriots? And what they were saying is that, and I was thinking about it, like, do you think Mark Davis, and I wouldn't put it past him, and I think he couldn't help himself, if Bill Belichick gets fired and Mark Davis fires Josh McDaniels?
Don't. I hope not. Come on.
I hope it doesn't happen.
No.
I hope it doesn't happen. But Mark Davis, I just feel like he would do it.
You're probably right. And I'd probably hang up my gloves. That's what would happen. It's just, man. I'm looking at young offensive-minded guys, Ben Johnson's. I wouldn't mind a Dan Quinn as long as he brings in a really good offensive coordinator. I need a leader, man. I need a guy who can give duties to an offensive play caller who's young, who's in his prime, who's up and coming, and let him establish himself here in Vegas for, the next 3 years, 4 years before taking a head coach job somewhere. And it's just, man, I don't understand what we're doing as an organization. Josh McDaniels is clearly not the guy. Like, I'm not even going to hold on to it. I'm not going to reach for straws anymore. Long term, man, he's not the guy. So, does Mark see that right now? That's a question for him. I don't know.
He looked like he was a little frustrated during the game.
We'll see
with his girlfriend. You see his girlfriend?
Yeah, she's solid. She's solid 18 years of age.
One says, I think what happens this offseason if McDaniels is fired is that he'll return to New England and be honest with you, if you want to be, let's keep it real. McDaniels has only proven that he's been a good offensive coordinator for one team. It's been with the Patriots and with Belichick as the head coach. And I could see that happen. He could easily go back to New England if Bill Belichick is still going to be the head coach after the season, because the Patriots, man, they got their own problems. And we'll get into it. We'll get into it a little bit as far as like what's ahead for the Raiders against the Patriots.
Bill Belichick's going after Drake May. That's what's happening.
You think so?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
hey, you could probably say that about a lot of teams right now. A lot of teams, they're all like kind of
this is their
team,
guy, man.
Every team is like 1-3, 2-3. They're all like kind of like they're all kind of. You could sense that some teams are kind of like, all right, let's see if we can get a quarterback next draft. Brian Chavez, I feel like our trick plays only trick us rather than the defense.
You are not lying, Brian.
Hey, that Trey Tucker signing, like, you know what I mean? He had a nice play.
Then he got injured.
Then he got hurt. Oh, we got a infamous, famous car lover. Ken, I was playing. We all know the GA car. Cash Lord Raider says, fun fact, Car says lost to Green Bay, and we beat Green Bay. Case closed for car lovers. Oh man,
it's not that easy, but I know where you're going with it.
Cash, let's go. We going on a run now. Mark my words, playoff bound. I hope you're right. I hope McDaniels is the next great Raider coach. I hope the Raiders can turn this around. I hope the Raiders can, but it's a lot of hope. It's a lot of hope. It's a lot of what ifs.
Do you hope that? Even if he was great, say he goes off and wins a bunch of games, are you gonna actually like McDaniels?
Yeah, why not? I mean, prove me wrong. I'd rather be wrong about this because I know what's gonna happen if we have to get a new coach. We have to start over. We got to take a risk.
Maybe it might be a retooling, Pharaoh.
Retooling, man. It
might just be a little retool, not a rebuild.
Yeah, man. Raider Way says OC, not a head coach. Man, OC for the Patriots. I don't know if can be an OC anywhere else but the Patriots under Bill Belichick. Because the dude, man.
No, I think that's the only place he has a home, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, come on, like you can now put him in that box of Patriot coaches that just don't work anywhere else but the Patriots.
Yep.
Casper, I'm not worried y'all got too much talent not to turn this office around. Relax. Yeah, man, I understand that we got too much talent, but when do you start questioning the people who are coaching?
Oh, I'm not relaxed. I'm not even guaranteeing that they're going to win these games coming up.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's the frustration. We have the talent, but we're averaging 15 points a game. It's how many? It's 5 games into the season.
If our defense wasn't playing the way that they're playing, you could make the argument we'd be winless. To be honest with you.
Someone wake up, Pharaoh. He's dreaming. Oh man, hey man. Bears and Patience is dubbed the Lions look beatable. They struggle with Green Bay. I think it's 3 straight dubs. Hey, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, man. Hope you're right. I'm not saying that they're like tough games. I'm just saying, do you trust this team? Even the defense, as much as they're playing well, like you've noticed that every team that plays against us, they're literally trying to impose their will with the run game.
He makes this point. Carlson missed 2 field goals. We should have had 23, but the fact is we didn't execute that. You know what I mean? So we could have had 23. We can look back on the other games and be like, man, this could have been a touchdown here. That could have been a touchdown there. Right. They didn't execute it, man. So that's why we can't count it. So the fact of the matter is they have not put up more than 17 points in this year. So that's got to get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy G has no field vision.
Jimmy G has no field. And that's crazy to say about a quarterback that's not athletic. He's not going to beat anybody with his arm, his athletic ability. And you're saying that he has no field vision? Is that a guy does that sound like a starter to you? I don't know if that's I don't know if I want a guy.
Does that sound like there's 32 better quarterbacks?
Man, I agree with the latter, man. I agree with the second part, man. But is there any other player, anybody that you want to point out and stock down that struggled last game? I mean, we obviously the O-line didn't, they struggled. They had their moments of just like, come on, man. Like,
I had Jermaine Illuminor just based off of the performance he gave a week before. And then obviously I think he's beat up, so I'm not going to put him on stock down. He's just a little honorable mention because I think even last week, there's chances are when you give up that many sacks, he was probably dealing with something. But if he wasn't, I mean, that's terrible performance. But yeah, man, I had Jermaine Illuminor as an honorable mention just because.
All right, and let's just get into this real quick. Look ahead to the Raiders-Patriots.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cashflow Raider. Some people in the chat are mentioning the easy schedule coming up, but it's not. See, this is what I don't like. The Patriots are struggling.
Yeah.
They are struggling. They just got shut out by the Saints. I think 34-0, and they look bad. Like when I'm saying look bad, like they talent-wise, I don't know who they have over there back there. It's just and Bill. People are questioning Bill Belichick. Is he going to come back and coach after this year, and not by choice? Like he wants to rebuild, but I'm not sure if Robert Kraft is going to want to go with a Bill Belichick. But that being said, I just feel like this could possibly be a trap game for the Raiders, just because you got a struggling team. They've been struggling, and then you have a coach that knows Josh McDaniels, that knows his offense, and you know what I mean, that some of the players.
Yeah, this game's gonna be close, probably. It shouldn't be, but the fact of the matter is, it probably will be.
I mean, every game that we played that we had a chance to win have been close. Like we haven't proven that we can even blow out a team. So nothing is a given. So I'm just saying this game scares me because of Bill Belichick. You know that he has some up his sleeve. They've been struggling. He's going to try to figure out a way to win this game, and he's going against a former coach of his. Oh, he's good. He's definitely going to try to figure out a way to beat the Raiders. I hope the Raiders take care of a business at home, but
I don't even worry about head coaches anymore. I'm worried about our head coach. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
We're going against Bill Belichick, but Josh McDaniels is incompetent. So I just, regardless of who we go against.
Hey, so you're done with Josh McDaniels. You want a new coach?
Yeah, man. I think it's because I've started my research on these guys that are rumored to get the next jobs, and I'm just looking at what they're doing with the talent that they have, and that's the direction that the league is going. You know how I am. I like to stay up with the times of the NFL. I like to be ahead of the ball instead of playing in times past, so to say. We've seen it with Gruden. We're getting it with Josh McDaniels. Man. I would like to see a young up and coming coach who's aggressive in the draft, aggressive in free agency, and aggressive in play calling to really go try to put some teams away.
So offense, defense, defensive coach.
Me personally, I would look at a guy like Ben Johnson out of Detroit, offensive coordinator. His leadership, I don't know. I would have to do a little bit more deep dive, but scheme and development, he's had a coaching staff that he's been with for 5 years, his running backs coach, and they have a tailor-made system for his backs and exactly what they want to do. You alluded to me off camera, like Hugh Jackson went to Darren McFadden back in the day. Hey, what are the plays that you'd like to run? And they incorporated that. That's much like what Ben Johnson does with his players. And I think that would bode well if you were to keep a guy like Josh Jacobs, or even if you were to move on. I think Ben Johnson, just his philosophy, his ability to get young guys the football, scheme things up. He's an old school smash mouth type of guy, so you don't have to change the system that much. The biggest adjustment for me personally, they run a ton of power in Detroit. So you would have to get guys up front that fit the size of Ben Johnson's offense. So I already alluded to you that we're probably going to have to address the offensive line in the offseason anyways. So if you were to get Ben Johnson, I feel like they would just bulk up that interior offensive line. And other than that, I think he would be able to come into this offense with Jacoby Myers, Devontae, Josh, and maybe go out and maybe draft or get one of his quarterbacks and make things work. So
that's a big key too, is if this season continues to go downward, and we get like a top 5, top 10 pick, and then we have a chance to get one of those quarterbacks, you want an offensive-minded coach to help a quarterback come in and develop the right way, So, and Ben Johnson, he's done a good job with Jared Goff. Like, he's turned around his career. Like, I thought Jared Goff was like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and then boom, he goes to
they have a top 5 offense.
They got top 5 offense, and he's looking like a different player with Ben Johnson. So yeah,
and he's physical, man. I love his style because it's not like I was saying. I think your camera went out, but it's just a physical style of football that the Raiders, we preach it, but we don't apply it.
You said my camera went out?
Yeah, for a second. So I didn't know if you heard me or not. But
yeah, I heard you.
Okay, yeah. So transitioning. If Ben was the head coach of the Raiders, you're not really changing philosophically. You're still going to be a downhill run style team, play action. You've got the Michael Mayers. He's working with Sam Laporta right now, and he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You've got Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. I mean, he's created enough to put it together. But yeah, to me, with this offense, the way it's struggling, I would want to get an offensive-minded guy, who can delegate responsibilities and also be a leader of men.
One says, if we get a new regime, it won't be a full restart. All we need for offensive QB with the arm, and he can run read option. Defense just needs some reps and some D tackles. Hey, man, easier said than done, man. It hasn't happened, man. Like we always kind of point to like, okay, we just need to retool. We just need to retool. But I don't know. Do you think Devontae Adams wants to stay for another?
It depends on who it is. It depends on who it is.
And a younger quarterback's going to come with growing pains.
Yeah, but he's singing praises of Aiden O'Connell early. So, I mean, if you go out there and get a first-rounder stud, the rookie's going to go to Devontae. I don't think Devontae's kind of locked into this contract with us, to be honest with you. And it's just, I don't think Devontae is going to be as concerned as long as it's an upgrade of what he's been working with. If he knows, like Caleb Williams, Drake May, you go down the list of the starting rookies, or you can go out and trade for a veteran or whatever the case may be, you can keep the optimism there with Devontae. Right.
And Black Sales Sports Talk in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. He says, Illuminar cannot start again, man. We got to start Munford. Man, Ray, that's your guy. Illuminar was your guy, man.
Yeah, he was my guy last year. I thought he was a good right tackle heading into this year.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, it's not just Illuminar.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a whole offensive line productive. But yeah, Illuminar has not been playing very well the last 2 weeks. I thought the first 3 weeks we were singing his praises. Right. Didn't let up a pressure, didn't let up a sack. And then you go into the Chargers game and it was kind of a nightmare. I think it all started against TJ Watt. Then it trickled over into Khalil Mack. Yeah. And then this game, he's obviously beat up and hurt a little bit. So I agree. I would, for this next week, I would definitely go Mumford for the start.
Yeah, and I think some of the line struggles is just not the players themselves. I just feel like, come on, the coaching staff.
You might have to mix it up. Like, to be honest, like if Mumford is finding his groove and is a competent starter and helps you in the run game at least, move Jermaine into the guard position.
Hey, and Mumford's a second-year player, so that's
it might be time. So you might want to move, you can move Jermaine inside at the right guard spot and maybe get a little bit better ground attack going without having to like compensate so much in pass pro, because Van Roten is playing good as pass pro, but his run blocking is just garbage. So
Raider Ray says, do you think McDummy will trade for Mac Jones, man? McDummy will not trade.
Please don't.
Come on, man.
I can't take much more of this. I really can't.
Man, come on, man. Don't even put
Belichick's,
that in the
the Mac Jones. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, don't put that in the universe. One Life to Live says, Raider fans say this all the time. This is the easy part of the schedule, and boom, we lose. Raiders should never look past their opponents. We're not built like that. Facts. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what we're saying over here. Like,
yeah,
we don't expect them just to go out here and win these games. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is easy part of the schedule. And yeah, on paper it is, but that doesn't mean we're going to go out there and execute.
Black Sales says, if we have to get a new coach, I like Clint Hurt, DC out of Seattle. Okay, he's going to defensive side. So you like the DC out of Seattle? Okay. Even with the possible QB coming in the first round, you want a defensive coach? And that being said, hey, you know what? I'm all for building this defense.
Yeah,
like it's about
time. It's
about damn time, man. We need to get a defense. We need to build this defense. We've tried to get all the offensive weapons and build this offense, but we need to find another way to win. And I think if we could build a good defense, man, that we might have a chance. There might be a possibility. Because have you ever seen a good Raiders defense? I don't think I've ever seen a great Raiders defense.
Not in my lifetime.
Yeah, not in my lifetime. But the whole history.
2016, they turned the ball over a lot in 2016. So that was like, it wasn't a good defense, but they were opportunistic, like Reggie Nelson and all the picks that they were able to create. So
Yeah.
I guess that was like the last, like the one that you went into a game thinking like, oh, the defense can make a play here, you know?
Right. Castro Raider says Chiefs are looking really suspect with no wide receiver. They've been getting ref help and Swift. Yeah, but like I can't even look at the Chiefs right now until the Raiders can fix their own problems. I mean, yeah, we could talk about the Chiefs, but then at the same time, like, are you 100% confident we could beat them with Jimmy G at quarterback?
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs look great, but their defense is playing good, and Patrick Mahomes is a threat, and he's it's just a different realm than Jimmy G. Then when you compare coaching staff, it's just not even close for me.
They got a better coach, better QB, and
my question for you, with all these rumors going out about getting an edge rusher, would you make a trade for Hunter Renfrow right now with how it's going?
Man, I hate to see Renfrow get gone just because of the incompetence of McDaniels. You know what I mean? That's because that's where it is. It's because you got a coach who's not utilizing the talent that he has, and he's making all types of excuses. He's not getting done. So a guy is going to get traded because you don't know how to use him. You don't know how to use a guy that had 100 catches before you got there. Come on now. But
he's historically known for being so good with slot receivers.
But that being said,
yeah,
like I could just go in on McDaniels for the next like 3 hours. But that being said, yeah, I mean, if we can get another pass rusher to help Max Crosby, it would be huge. I'm not sure if we can get a D tackle at this point. I don't know who's available at D tackle, but if we can get someone at D tackle, that I think can unlock our pass rush even more than anything. I think from how the rumors are worded, they're just looking for a pass rusher, another guy to replace the lost.
Okay, trade situation: Hunter Renfrow and a second-round pick for Brian Burns.
Oh, Brian Burns for a second-round pick? He's gonna
Hunter Renfrow and a second.
Oh, yeah, I would do it. Oh, but then the contract though. Whew. He hasn't been. Did they give him a contract yet, or
no, not yet?
Oh, he's gonna get.
But we have $100 million in cap space next year, so.
Damn, and that would compliment Max Crosby because he's a speed rusher.
Yeah,
got a lot of bend. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. But oh man,
let's be honest. What kind of production are we getting out of Hunter? It's no slight on Hunter because Hunter's getting open. Yeah. Hunter's doing Hunter's thing.
Right.
My problem isn't with Hunter. My problem is with the people being able to get him the football. So you're not getting any type of production out of him right now. They need a weapon over there in Carolina. They've been openly saying that. Go give him a slot guy. You know?
Like Sales says, hell yeah, for Burns, I wouldn't have to think about it. I had to think about it because I'm thinking about the type of contract he's going to want to get. I'm thinking about the draft pick. Yeah, man, damn, that would be crazy. Brian Burns, but do you think they would even do that? Well, you know what?
Well, if they're not getting anywhere in contract talks, probably.
You know what? Hey, I just thought about it too because the struggle right now with the Panthers is their offense and how they don't have anybody that can separate, that can get open. So maybe getting another, but Renfrow is a slot receiver. I don't think they would. Man, if they did that, man, I accept it. I'm not gonna lie.
But to be honest, I love Brian Burns, but like
Derek Brown is.
That's what I'm saying. I need somebody in the interior for me.
Yeah, and
I think Malcolm has earned some reps. I'm not saying he's the guy long term. I think Malcolm's earned some reps. You drafted Tyree, so that's got to have to be his spot at some point. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I agree because if you're gonna invest someone in the middle. But
big time.
Yeah, but who's gonna be available? Like that's.
You're gonna have to look at one of these teams that is a dumpster fire by like week 8.
Right. And one says no to Brian Burns. We drafted Wilson already, have Crosby. We need to keep a second and adds. Boom. There you go. One is adding to this little discussion. I appreciate that right there. And then he's saying Panthers get Renfrow for a third and Frank Lavue. Payne from Washington. Didn't he just sign a contract? But I will say that what's underperforming right now for the Commanders right now is their D line is not as productive, and they got all that money So, hey, you never know. They might just be like, they might cut ties. Who knows? Ja Raider, we can trade for Falcons D tackle Garrett. Ooh. Is he still a productive player at this point of his career? How old is Garrett? I know he
might be 28 to 30, that range probably.
Let me see. Garrett.
If I remember right.
Let's see. Garrett, Falcons. If you guys haven't hit that like button, make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate the support, man. If you have subscribed, also hit that subscribe button. The road to 4K continues. Also, we're going live on both our channels. So if you head over to Ray's channel, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to his channel, like the video, as well as mine's. Grady Jarrett, I don't see. Okay. I spelled that completely wrong.
What about Chase Young?
Ooh. But he has injury history. I'm staying away from him.
He's gonna cost some money too. Yeah,
unless he's cheap. If he's cheap and we don't have to give up like a high draft pick, it might be low risk, high reward type of move, then I'm not mad at that. But
Josh says DeForest Buckner from the Colts. He isn't feeling good with the Colts right now. I would like that, especially the Colts need an offensive weapon, and I could see Hunter Renfrow in that scheme for sure. I think Hunter Renfrow would fit with the Colts in what they do. But I don't think that they're going to give up Buck DeForest for Hunter. It'd be like Hunter Renfrow and third and some change probably. I don't know how comfortable I'd be giving up a second. I mean, I might for production, but let's be honest, the Raiders aren't like competing for a Super Bowl this year, so I don't know if I would pull the trigger on that high of capital.
What would you give up for Grady Jarrett though? He's 30 years old, 9th year in the league.
Oh, I'm not giving up much at all. I'm not even giving up Renfrow for him.
A 7th rounder?
Yeah.
Last pick in the draft?
I mean, a 5th, a 6th, something like that.
5th, 6th. Hit Stick Stepper says, I think we should try to pursue Leonard Williams in a trade. Okay.
See, Leonard Williams would be one of those that I'm down with. Grew up a Raider fan, wanted to be drafted by the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Like Patrick Graham guy. That one would make sense.
Yeah. And he did sign a big contract. I don't know if it was last offseason. Was it last offseason? Or it's a offseason?
Big contract too.
Yeah. So, but he is familiar. Patrick, that is a Patrick Graham guy, but I don't know. I'm not sure if the Raiders are willing to do that right now because I feel like Ziegler's is kind of scared to make any type of aggressive move like that.
I think that's building up for this offseason, to be honest with you.
You think so?
Yeah.
Cashflow Raiders says Montez Sweat, Chase Young both got their fifth year decline. They're playing for a new contracts.
And you got to think, like, if Dave and Josh stick around this year, like, they've got to make it. Unfortunately, it's a huge, like,
but do you almost trust them, though, man?
That's what I know. But you got to think, they know that everything's on the line. So they're going to go out there and spend every single penny that they can spend. And it's either going to pay off or it's going to set this organization back 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what's scary.
I'm still trying to figure out the Chandler Jones situation.
I just think you fire him. Now. Yeah. And let this new coaching staff, take advantage of this money.
Collective says Ziegler's still cleaning house. Oh, my God. He's still cleaning house? But we're not even talking about him cleaning house. We're talking about the players that he's adding to the team. That's what the question is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Ja. Imagine getting Sweat and Young, 2 birds with 1 stone. Imagine our defense. It's just, no, I love it. I love that idea and I love that concept, but it's like, we're not competing this year. Like, that's evident. We can't even put 20 points up on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just, if anything, go get you some nasty young starting right guard and get you some hope in the run game at least.
Kevin Lurker says, would you accept a trade to play for McDito?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, for real. Like, they would, I mean, if they had a no trade clause, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to play with the – man, you got players in the media. You got Richard Sherman talking about, like, he needs Max Crosby needs to go to a different team. I hate hearing stuff.
He's wasting away.
Max Crosby is going to be a Raider for life, man. He is Mr. Raider. You could tell, like, he's not going anywhere. He's not going there. But then,
Careful.
Yeah, better. I don't want to.
Yeah, careful.
Let me knock on wood. I
thought I said the same thing about Khalil
I'm not
Mack.
trying to jinx that for sure.
I don't ever buy jerseys, right? And then I was like, oh, Khalil Mack was going in a contract season, came off that big year. I'm like, this guy's gonna be a Raider for life.
Right.
When I bought me a Khalil Mack, weeks later, bro.
Yeah,
Khalil Mack gets traded. I'm like, it's still hanging up in the closet.
Facts, man. But we appreciate everybody coming through, man. It's been a good show. We just wanted to come here and talk Raider football after a win. Finally, we got a win. And it feels good. But at the same time, we still have our doubts. We still have our questions about Josh McDaniels. Raider Race. At this point, I'm gonna roast some more.
Yeah, we need to go kick around the fire with Chandler Jones, see what he's up to.
Oh my God, man! Hey, the challenge. I seen like, man, I'm not even getting.
We all bring fire extinguishers.
Man, I think I seen like a funny meme where they took the picture of Chandler Jones where he's smiling on his mugshot.
Oh, jeez.
And then he's the where he's crying. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me get this out the way. I think that's a sign right there.
That's a sign. We're wrapping up the show, y'all. And hey, thank you guys for tuning in, man. If you guys haven't, head over to Real Raider Ray, smash the like button on my channel, subscribe, and do the same thing for PharoahNFL. We are cross-streaming here right now. That's the move moving forward. I hope you guys like the show Undrafted. We appreciate you guys with all the support, all the feedback in the comments. And after the show, make sure you go. Anything that you want to express, any questions that you may have, drop it in the comments section during the replay of the show. You know what I mean? It helps us. We always interact. We always get back with you guys. So yeah, man, we just appreciate everything that you guys are doing over here. And with that being said, y'all,
hold on one second.
Are you there?
All right,
there we go.
I'm back. All right, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure on the way out, make sure to hit that like button. We appreciate everybody coming. Like I said, we just wanted to talk to football after the Raiders got their second win of the season, broke a 3-game losing streak. Hopefully they can continue it next week against the Patriots. Next show will be on Saturday. We'll break down the Patriots and what to expect from that team. To keep it simple, Patriots are trash too. This is a game. This is another winnable game, but
it's an ugly game.
I hope not. I hope it's a blowout. I hope we see some plays. I hope,
if we put up 17 on the Patriots, bro, if we win,
this might be the game we might score 20 points. 21?
Don't count it. Don't count it, but we'll see.
Come on, man. But yeah, we're gonna end it the right way. Hold on one second. Let's end it the right way, man. But appreciate everybody coming through, y'all.
Just win, baby.
Peace.
Great Pharaoh, the gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Believe that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
Just win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game.
You don't play to just play it.